Hi everyone, welcome back to Sonic and the Side Quests, the 2-day event focused on the Sonic the Hedgehog series and categories that involve doing a little more than just beating the game. We're collecting Chaos Emeralds, emblems, magic doohickeys, and all the while creating a good future and a great future for everyone with the Sonic speedrun community at the helm of all the action. I'm joined by CritcalCyd and Nacho as they're going to be presenting the PC version of Sonic Heroes, which tries its very best.
It sure does.
I'm having a great time with this very intense Sonic plush and doing big things.
Just big things.
Fine. No, I'm not.
Oh yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead let you two introduce yourselves and introduce the run. I won't keep you very long.
My face.
I hope everyone's ready for some more Team Chaotix, because this is Team Rose that we're showing right now. We're actually doing Team Chaotix, but Big just looks funnier flying through the air.
Hey, I'm out of line. Let's go.
All right, Nacho, I say go ahead. Introduce yourself. You're the runner. This is your show. Let's go.
Right. I forgot. Hello, my name is Nacho. I'm runner of this game since like 3-4 years, maybe. I will be running Team Chaotix. The PC version is really a game. A cool, interesting game for a run. Right now, you can see, but not just the PC version. Sonic Heroes is truly an interesting game, just like this. Because I'm actually out of bounds and I can die. So yeah, right here next to me is CritcalCyd, the commentator. Thank you.
No problem. Hi. As I just said, I'm CritcalCyd. I have been, at the hands of this game for 2013. It's been treating me roughly, but I'm still here, and I'm still enjoying it. And I am ready to just tell you all about the awesome things that we could show with Sonic Heroes PC.
Yes. Here?
Gotta make sure Nacho's face cam is right.
Hello, it's me. Wait.
There we go.
Okay, so we'll be starting for a new game file. Oh, yeah. I don't know what to say right now. I'm really just nervous about this.
Don't worry, I'll be doing most of the talking. You just get in the groove and start playing the video game. And I think we'll be ready for a countdown.
Yeah, the round will be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright,
yes.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to Sonic Heroes, the PC version. Sonic Heroes is a game that features 3 characters per team. We'll be running as Team Chaotix, which you saw earlier in Sonic Classic Heroes, which is based on this game. We have SPO as a speed character. We'll be trying to use him as much as possible, of course. We're here to go fast. Charmy as the flight character, Charmy the Bee, and Vector as the power character. And rather than going to the end of the stage, our goal here will be to collect a certain amount of things. It's mostly a mission-based system for Team Chaotix. Our mission here is to get 10 out of the 20 hermit crabs that are available on the stage. And we'll just be getting the first 10. The first 10, fortunately, are the fastest. There will be a whole bunch of techniques that we can use in order to collect them faster. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward in this stage. It starts off fast, but, normal. It starts off normal. And a little bit of a loop skip here. Don't want to have to go through the entire loop. There's going to be a couple more crabs coming up right here. And we'll be getting that with Charmy, and then we can break the block from above it and jump to the cannon. The cannon shoots in one of 3 directions based on the formation you are in. So since we're as flight formation, it shot us up there where another crab was. And then Nacho's would make his way over to the final one for a pretty fast first stage. That's Seaside Hill already. Now, where the All Emeralds part of this run comes in, because after all, this is Sonic and the side quests, and that will be in every second stage of each zone, because every zone is 2 stages and 1 boss. And every second stage, Nacho will be grabbing a key in order to get us into the special stage. He has to be very careful with this key, because if he loses it by getting hit, it acts essentially as a ring, so if you get hit, you lose it. Then he will have to get another key, otherwise he can't actually get to the special stage, which we need. Now, unfortunately, Vector just got hit by one of the falling blocks, and Charmy did as well. And when both of your teammates get hit, it takes a while for them to get back. Normally, they are pretty fast with getting back, but there it takes a while. Now here you see Nacho deliberately skipping one of the keys in order to go for a later one. And he does that because it gives him, you know, less chance to lose it along the way. And instead, what he's going to be doing is going to be setting up for a little glitch here. This right here is what we call an Ultra Glide. This is what makes the PC version, among other things. You see, whenever you do a glide, the game intends to reset your gravity. And since they never got to finish developing the PC version, the gravity resetting mechanic doesn't quite work. So depending on how much your gravity is altered, in this case by that slope, you will get a lot of speed and a lot of height just from that gravity reset. So basically all he did there was he built up some speed and then he did a glide. That is all. And that'll show up a couple of times throughout this run. It's not useful on every stage, but in this case, the mission was just getting to the end where Chow is waiting for Nacho. So that's why it is useful here. With the Collectathon, obviously you fly over a lot of stuff, but in stages like that, it's useful. Yeah, for a special stage. So for the special stages, you have these little orbs here that give you a boost. And on the console version, what you would be doing is you would just be holding that B in order to boost. On the PC version doesn't really have all the speed caps programmed properly yet. So for the most part, Nacho will not be boosting. He'll do it to get up to max speed, or if he needs a real quick burst of speed. But for the most part, he'll just let SPO run, build up to the speed. There is no speed cap, so he'll keep building up speed, and that's how he catches up to the emeralds. And they should go pretty fast like that.
Okay, yours.
Yes, on to the first boss.
The main problem with PC version the only problem with PC version is the worst boss fight are the team battles.
Alright, so what he's going to be doing for this fight is you need to chase Egghawk down before he lands on a beach. Instead, there's a beach behind us, so he'll just call Egghawk back to that beach, just far enough that Egghawk will land, and then we absolutely destroy him with Vector. Along the way, he picked up a invulnerability power-up so that he didn't get damaged just by being near Egghawk or something like that. And with that's like a quick 20-some second fight. It's very useful. Which already brings us to the next set of stages. So once again, we'll have just a normal stage where we'll just be doing a mission, and then in the second one, Nacho will be getting another key for the All Emeralds aspect of this run. And I see some questions in the chat asking, like, this game was released on PC? Yes, it was. It was released a year after the other releases were, which is amazing because the PC version is actually more broken. They had to basically, redo it from scratch in order to make a proper PC port, but they then didn't get to finish that PC port because it needed to be rushed out in the holiday season of the year after. So what we have is right here. I'll be mentioning some other silly PC moments. But for the time being, here we have the mission of Crime Metropolis. The mission here is to beat all of the enemies that are in the stage. You cannot miss a single one. And this is also where level ups are gonna come into play. Here we have level 2 SPO, and SPO, with each level, he starts doing more damage. What we also want is we want level 2 Charmy at some point. And with Charmy happens, Charmy's attack, it starts bouncing towards other enemies at level 1, and at level 2 it starts doing damage, which, you know, clears enemies pretty quickly once you have level 2 Charmy. But still, it doesn't really matter too much, only like a matter of seconds in which order you get them here at the start, because those enemies you can also very easily clear with SPO. You also have these loops. Like I said, no speed caps. That applies to those loops as well, and those paths make you accelerate constantly. So Nacho did a little bit of a jump to make sure that he didn't clip through the ramp. That is silly PC moment number 2. We first had the ultralights, now we have no speed caps.
And the loops in this level are really scary. Sometimes I managed to clip through the floor, not the ramp, the floor.
Yeah. Actually, you know, in Sonic Adventure 1, walls don't exist. In this game, floors don't exist, essentially. Well, yeah, just to continue with the level up system, and the way that he's been getting level ups is a couple of ways. For one, there are pickups that are consistent throughout the stage, so you can just always find an SPO pickup at a certain location. Then there's the checkpoints, where you will get a level up for the formation you're in when you hit the checkpoint. And then there is the random chance that I was slightly talking about earlier. Whenever you kill 5 robots, you will get a level up for one of the 2 formations that you were not in when you hit the character. So if he kills the robot with SPO, he will get a level up for either Charmy or for Vector. And that'll be coming up in some later stages as well. And this is where it is first showed off. Since he has to kill the robots anyway, he doesn't really have to go out of his way to get those level ups, he'll just get them naturally. But yeah, you can get them in a slightly different order because of the way the luck works. Over there we had a little bit of another silly PC moment. We had a wall bounce. Rather than just, you know, jumping up there, flying up there, or using the pole, the PC version actually has another method of gaining height. There's another one. I don't know how to properly describe what happens there, but essentially it's just another result of the game being unfinished, and the characters don't know how to properly like convert that speed into a sudden stop, so instead you just get it all upwards if you hit the wall properly. Alright, almost done with the stage already. Didn't miss a single robot, very good. Another nice aspect about the level ups for SPO is he can actually latch onto poles and de-shield enemies with his homing attack from level 3 onwards, so because it gets wind physics. There are like 3 moves that have wind physics in this game: the tornado, the homing attack at level 3, and the rocket excel, where your teammates essentially push you forward. It's used a lot to gain speed.
Ultimate ninja power.
And that was Grand Metropolis.
Yeah, that was Grand Metropolis. Now it's time to follow to one of the shortest levels in the game.
Yep, power plant is very, very short indeed. And first things first, we're actually going to take one of these flowers. Charmy can open these in order to teleport, and this one teleports to the back of the stage. It's essentially a mechanic that lets you just loop throughout the stage endlessly until you get all of the things you need. But in this case, we'll take advantage of it to get the first of the 3 turtles that we need to get very quickly. There's a total of 5, so we don't have to go through the entire stage, which is why it's gonna end up being so short, but yeah. And then he got the key right near the start as well. That is actually the only key that is available on this particular route, and doing any other route is usually just slower because of how far the turtles are apart. The other 2 turtles are going to be in cages, but the hitbox of their heads extends far enough that you can hit them outside of the cage anyway. And with that one, it's pretty easy to hit them with a ground pound. With the second one, it's just a little bit harder. So instead, you rocket excel, which again has wind physics and launches them into the air. And then we do a homing attack in order to make the teammates homing attack as well, killing the turtle in the air. And now it's on to the second special stage.
Yeah, the first two special stages are easy, are really easy. The hardest part is when the third special stage starts. This one, for me, the third special stage is the hardest one using this method, this strat.
Yeah, the second one really isn't too bad. But again, only going to be really using the boost if he needs to, like, hits one of these bombs and needs to build up to max speed again. This one you can get pretty easily with the lack of speed cap on the PC version. It really is quite interesting that between PC and console, even the special stages end up being different, simply because of that lack of speed cap. And you'd think, but then surely you would also miss that speed, have that missing speed cap on the boost. But it's like, no, boost has its own speed cap, which was perfect. But here's Team Dark. You fight some of the other teams sometimes during the stage. Their movements are based on your movements. So what he managed to do there is he managed to manipulate Omega into jumping off. He tried to get all of them. Rouge is not playing along quite nicely, but that's still got some of them off.
Rouge, please.
Stuck in the box here.
Rouge, please. Thanks. Okay. The good part about
Rouge was
this,
not playing a lot.
Shadow fell off first, and in PC version, speed characters that aren't your speed character can be knocked out. So all the team battles are in favor. Yeah, that was the first team battle.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
for
that's
my
another one of those silly
run
PC
killers.
moments.
There's shadow.
One of my run killers, but I will try my best.
Alright, so here we have Park. This is supposed to be luck based. We have to get 200 rings. Instead, we're just gonna kind of rig the slots. There's also another glitch that kind of launches you into the air. But essentially what we're doing is we're shooting our teammates into the slot machine, and they get stuck because we hover above the entrance. They go in and out, cycling through all of the options. So we just kind of non-stop get rings, and that's that. That was very nice. It was a good execution.
That was really good first try. Like, usually this take me like 4 or 5 tries before actually beating this level.
First try every time. Let's go. So yeah, luck race stage. All right, on to Bingo Highway. Here we have to get 10 of the 20 bingo chips. The key he'll be getting is pretty close to the start here, so he has to go the entire rest of the stage without getting hit. Should not be too much of an issue because most of the problem. Ooh. Just Sonic Heroes things. Don't worry, just a Heroes moment.
Yeah, you know, when we talking about the floor doesn't exist, we're joking.
Alright, so a really nice strat that he'll be doing throughout Bingo Highway is he uses SPO's Tornado, which has a nice added side effect of making him invisible, just separating him from the rest of the team, and goes onto the board with just SPO. As a result, he can get the chips and then switch to one of the other two teammates in order to call SPO back.
Okay, so bingo, yay!
And get bingo along the way.
I
Wait
mean,
for the
it's
extra
lost time,
TP9 and to get more bingo.
But you know, bingo is important. Say the bingo.
Bingo is very important. But yeah, the nice thing about these pinball stages is that the switching of the characters, whereas normally you stay in the same place and they come to that location, in the bingo stages or the pinball stages, it actually works the other way around. You go to wherever that character is, And that's what allows us to do these strats where we just separate SPO from the rest and then call them back after we get the plane. This is the hardest bingo chip, but he managed to get it.
Now I need to be good. Because that
This enemy at the end
robot
is
can
quite
be-
scary because
Yeah, you can lose the
you can't lose the key. Exactly.
Impossible.
Okay, time for the hardest special stage for me. It's
Yeah,
it's
this is
tricky.
the hardest special stage.
Actually, you can. This is actually the fastest special stage, this or the last one. But it's really tricky to try to get the emerald at the first go.
Yeah, it has a lot of really sharp turns. Like if he gets strapped,
Okay.
then he's done real fast. And ooh, yep, you got him. But if you miss that, if you miss it at that point, then it takes a long time to catch up.
Okay, it's from perfect.
You've made quite a mess here. I'll accept your apologies and payment with your lives. Want some? On guard. Get them.
Alright.
I will try that.
So here we have another boss fight, which is essentially just waves of robots. And most of going fast here is getting the right level ups at the right time. So in order to do that, Nacho is going to be using Vector here to clear out these first two waves, because we want, at best case scenario, 2 Charmy level ups, and otherwise the next best thing would be 2 SPO level ups. Getting 1-1 is fine. He has another wave in order to get a second Charmy level up. Can work with
Okay,
it.
thanks, robot. Okay, let's charming right
The
now.
airplanes
It's
especially are rough, but here we go, level 2 Charmy, very nice. Once again, at level 2, Charmy starts to do damage, which is very important for these waves with flying enemies. And yeah, shoutouts to Charmy saying guard on, chat. Now, we do actually need other level ups for the other team members as well. Specifically, we're going to need level 3 Vector, and the reason we're going to be needing him is because of his what level ups do for the power character, which is give them a combo finisher. And Vector's combos are not necessarily that strong. 2's alright, but at 3 he blows bubblegum that explodes everywhere, which is really powerful. Once again, these airplanes are the biggest jerks of these boss fights. But he got him. And the reason we need level 3 SPO is for the turtle wave right here.
now level 3.
Unfortunately hit the spring.
Okay, nice. Level 3 victory.
Here's the wave where we need level 3 Vector.
Okay, I missed one.
Let's see. Yeah, one of the planes survived, unfortunately. So there we go. Got him.
Nice. Well, pretty good.
And then that was already the last wave. Nice wall bounce at the end there.
Yeah, that one is really hard. I was trying to do it in my run just to be swag. Swag his trap.
Such a disorderly crowd. Just a waste of our time.
So, the next section of stages will be the canyon stages, Real Canyon and Bullet Station. Real Canyon is one of those stages where we just have to get to the end. And that means ultra glides. However, they are quite tricky. I know Nacho is going to be going for some of them. Hopefully he'll actually get them.
Yeah. The hard part about this, the rail levels, or just the rails, are really bad programmed. For some reason, when you try to switch between rails, you can just fly off.
Yeah, jumping off of the rails properly for those glides is definitely very tricky. He's going to be doing that in loops where his gravity is kind of like inverted. And another trick that he's been doing on these rails is he's been switching back and forth between Vector and SPO. He's actually doing that for acceleration purposes, in order to get up to the max speed as fast as possible. It doesn't actually get you past the max speed. This is one of those places where the speed caps do work. But yeah, in order to get the max speed fast, there we go. There's the first few glides already. And he also switches camera to free camera, because otherwise it can be very hard to actually tell what's going on. But with free camera, you can pretty easily just go down and look down at the stage. With auto camera, he would just kind of have a blind fall instead. So those were some nice glides. Very cool.
There is
The nice thing
another
about ultra
glide
glides is that it
right.
also works on downward slopes. So you can get a lot of speed.
There is another ultra glide just right there, but it's really hard to do. Sometimes you can, instead of jump, you can just pass through the other rail, and then you die.
Keep moving, boys.
But fortunately, there are a lot of loops, so there are definitely a lot of spaces where we can do ultra glides. So this is definitely the kind of stage where PC Heroes thrives. And as you can imagine, in Sonic games there are a lot of loops, so the PC version is actually the fastest version of the game. But because of how different of a run it is is fun to run both categories. Just got a damage boost over that train, no problem whatsoever.
There is another. It's not an ultra glide, but it's free. Okay, nice.
Almost fell down there.
Right. Here.
Roger.
There we go. That's Real Canyon. Very nice. See, bit of a long stage, but pretty cool thanks to glides.
Impossible feat.
Next up, we have quite a tricky one. We have Bullet Station, where the mission is to actually get 30 of the 50 capsules that are available. I think we're going to be skipping like one in the route in favor of others, and just kind of skipping the entire bobsled section that's in the stage as well. Which is quite nice. And then somewhere along the lines, we pick up a key as well. Hopefully not lose it. There are plenty of enemies that could possibly hit us.
Actually, this level has the one of the easiest. Just one right at the end before the last 4 capsules.
Now let's get to work, boys. Let's go.
Yeah. So one of the things that Nacho's been using quite a lot throughout this run already that I just kind of want to expand upon is this move with Vector where he's been slamming onto the ground and is switching to either SPO or to Charmy. And especially like in this stage as well, again, he's using it a lot. And it's just essentially a momentum transfer mechanic. It's not intended by the game, but it can be quite useful because Vector's ground pound has a lot of speed to it, and you can get that speed either forward if you then switch to SPO, or if you do a glide to cancel the ground pound at the correct timing. And you can also get that extra momentum upwards, so that will allow you to reach places that you normally wouldn't be able to reach. And then another trick that is...
I tried to be cool there.
Yeah, that Nacho was attempting there was a mid-air jump. Essentially, SPO start throw ability, he can actually
I should stop. Better go for the
Yeah.
save.
If you do it off of a ledge, which means if your teammates don't screw you over like they did with Nacho by trying to give you a rocket excel, then you can actually get the start throw right off of the ledge. For the entire animation, the game still thinks you're on the ground, meaning you can jump in midair. It's quite useful. Now, these cannons, these giant cannons, are on a global cycle from when the first stage first loaded. The only thing that changes that is when you die, that's when the cycle starts anew. So in this case, no idea what cycle we ended up getting. But no problem. They shoot like every 3.3 seconds, so it's really only minimal difference. And then in these actual cannon sections, there's not much to do except get balloons, basically. Now, even though this stage is quite large, there aren't actually all that... Like, there would be opportunities, a lot of opportunities to do power glides or ultra glides as well. Problem is, we have to get these capsules, so that is why Team Chaotix is relatively light on the ultra glides, but still, there's still a couple of stages where it gets shown off. It does make them very unique though, because basically every other category is chock full of ultra glides. If there's any way to kind of alter your gravity, yeah, you'll be able to get an ultra glide there.
Also, there is a really cool setup for some ultra glides. For example, you can use any curve on any slope, even a minimal slope, to do an ultra glide, and those setups are really crazy. Shout out to Razor Main because they find really cool ultra glides for this game.
Shoutouts to Razor Main. Yeah, absolutely crazy with kind of ultra
I
glides.
lost the key! I lost the key! Okay, let's...
Oh boy.
It's never happened before moment.
That is very unfortunate. The guardian of the key. It won't take too long to get back there though, it's no problem.
I mean, there is no cactus right now.
So even though the key is right at the end. Alright. This is another one of those cases where we again use one of Charmy's teleport flowers in order to get to a more favorable position. In this case, it gets you to the end of the bobsled section. They put it here so you can go back to the start and maybe redo the bobsled section because there's also capsules on there. And in the extra mission, you do actually need to get all of the capsules. So it's essentially why they put it there. And we just use it to our advantage to skip the slow bobsled section. It's quite useful.
Not bad.
E is for
Now, from this point on, C is for capsules, exactly. Now, from this point on, the special stages are going to get more and more bombs, which is also going to make them quite tricky sometimes. Every time you get hit, you have to build up speed again, so even though we have this lovely lack of speed caps for the special stages, it can be quite tricky. And trust me, moving around in these special stages is not easy. Like, if you're used to the Sonic 2 ones with the half pipe and stuff, where it's, you know, relatively smooth, it's very hard to control in Sonic Heroes, especially at the speed you're going. They could just kind of throw you off at any of these curves, and there are a lot of curves.
I have many words about the Heroes special stages. None of them are positive. If you want to experience something like these special stages, go play Sonic Generations on the 3DS. They come back, they're just better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So kudos for managing to actually avoid all of the bombs and going fast.
Piece of cake.
All right. So here we have Egg Hall Part 2. with 2 extra parts. Egg Albatross. Pretty much the same strat. We're just going to be staying on the initial platform and calling Albatross back rather than chasing Albatross down. Eggman can come to us. It is fine.
I understood why Eggman had such a fixation on bird mechs, as Hawk, Albatross, and Emperor. The last one being Penguin base.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it looks so little like a penguin that I did not ever even make the connection that Emperor might be Emperor Penguin to finish the bird theme. Thank you for that, Amber.
You're welcome. You're never going to unsee it. Like, he's got like the tail feathers or whatever. Like, it's so weird.
That'll shut him
Oh
up for a
my
while.
goodness. Everything I knew about this game was a lie. How did I never see that? I've been running this since
Birds lay
2013.
eggs. Birds lay eggs, I guess, is why he's so fixated on the bird mechs this time.
Birds lay eggs, exactly. Oh.
The first floor is one of my favorite levels. We're talking about speedrunning, but also this is my second rank killer.
Whew. What a glide, guys. What a glide. Oh, goodness. Yeah, this is another one of those stages where you just kind of have to get to the end. There is an extra element to it if you can't be spotted by the frogs, but the frogs are blind, and who can blame them? We're flying way in the air. How are they possibly meant to spot us? Shout outs to the loops for having speed caps. Oh, they go so fast. This glide is pretty tricky, mainly because there's still a lot of path in your way, and jumping off of it properly is not exactly all that easy, but if you do get it, it is super worth.
Yeah, I actually don't want to play the level.
A couple more attempts.
I don't want to play the level, to be honest. Maybe casually I go for this glide. Oops.
Ooh. Going everywhere except the direction we want to go.
Yeah, it was not having it.
There we go, very nice. And then switch to the free camera so that we can actually have it turn to the bottom and get to way further into the stage. That actually skipped quite a lot, so it was worth attempting quite a few times. Now over here there is 2 flowers for the upper path or the lower path down the mushroom. The upper path is, you know, just it can be a little bit faster, so you can take it.
Yeah, I'm really used to this path because there is no frog here, so it's kinda safe.
Exactly. Extra safety of not having frogs. Now the thing is, Team Chaotix is not actually supposed to be on that path. There were no actual assets or robots there. There is normally not a way for Chaotix to get up there. He kind of used the rails to get some extra height, so there is nothing for Chaotix up there. But you can get there. You can get there anyway. The platforms are still there. And we have another pretty fast stage coming up. Lost Jungle is normally pretty long. And here we have to rescue 10 of the 20 Chow that are available in the stage. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting 3 from the actual start of the level, and then we're just going to be taking one of those teleport flowers to the very back of the stage. And the very back actually has a total of 7 Chow very, very close to each other. So with those, the 3 and that 7, there you go. That's the entire mission. So what Nacho's going to be doing is backtracking a little bit on this rail. You can also take a death. It's also an option. But since we're going for real time here, this works. Having the stage reload takes a little bit of time. And then here is the back of the stage where we can collect the rest of the 7 chow. What do we need to chow for? I have no idea. Don't worry about it. So it's the same thing we need the hermit crabs for, I suppose. And the next collectathons, we're going to be collecting keys. That makes like a little bit more sense for the sake of progress. But I'm down with saving chow. They're lost. We can get them to safety. It's fine.
Wait, this part is really tricky because I managed to get the key, to break the jail, but not get the key and grab the chow. I really waited a bit. I waited a bit for this.
Yeah. That is a very reasonable thing to play safe. Otherwise, you'd have to do the entire stage again if you do not get the key but run directly into the chow. One of the, bad things about them being so close together. Now on for another special stage. Already at 5 out of 7. And there is a special stage for every zone, so of course there are 7 zones as well. Very nice. Nacho's been nailing these special stages. It's been going very well.
Yeah, the good thing right now, the special stage gave us some extra lives. Them will be really useful right now.
So here's the second team fight, this time against Team Rose. And I really like the strat for this one. First we just kind of get Cream out of the equation. Then what he did is he prepared a ground pound, restarted the stage. A few frames of gameplay actually carry over into the restarted stage, which in this case was the actual hit of the ground pound onto the floor. So he did it right where they spawned, and then it hit them before they had a chance to act. Cream sadly survived, but it at least got rid of Cream and Amy. Amy is especially important because of the thing Nacho mentioned earlier, where they, in silly PC heroes things, cannot be stunned because game unfinished. And so when teammates can't be stunned, they're almost impossible to get off. I've seen playthroughs of the PC version that where the team fights are just an endless battle of agony.
Yeah, I mean, there's Team Sonic. Why this just a pain? But I really, that Sonic is just too insistent. Oops. Well.
Alright. So, here we have Hand Castle. We have to collect 10 keys. There are actually only 10 as well. So we're gonna have to actually, make sure we don't skip any of them. Some of them are quite out of the way, like this one. Normally in other categories, we just kind of click through the door that is opened right here. But we do actually have to go up in the upside down area in Team Chaotix as one of the only categories. And take the elevator up here. Oh.
Okay, losing time now.
This is a little bit of a pickle. Oh, it did come down. Okay. And just playing it safe, taking the rail up so that he doesn't fall down again. Because there's another key up here. Now the nice gimmick of Hand Castle is that the stage just kind of moves upside down and right side up again. To make like two halves of the stage. Functionality, game-wise, they are just 2 different parts of the map that you get warped to. But otherwise, they'd have to program upside down gravity and stuff like that. It'd be pretty tricky. But it makes for a very cool looking stage.
And be careful not to fall.
Here we go!
the next stage, Mystic Mansion, will have a similar idea, except for where the teleporting kind of makes the rooms look like they're changing. So it looks like you're in the same room, but instead you just... and that the mansion is transforming around you. It's pretty cool. So two more keys to go. The last key in the stage is especially interesting because we're going to be trying to skip one of those upside down stages sections. And there are a couple ways we could go about that. We could do the wall bounce that he's been doing in other places. But there's also a trick called infinite flight glitch. And see if he goes for it. He's going for the wall bounce. It makes sense. Wall bounce can be faster if you get it fast.
Game, please. It seems like the game doesn't want to be bugged, so I would go for the infinite flight.
Yeah. Here's the alternative, infinite flight glitch. And essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to land on Vector's head. Vector, as the only power character in the game, has a little bit of collision, which means that for 1 frame you can stand on his head, which we're trying to get Charmy's flights to refresh so that we can fly higher. There it is. And you can do that infinitely, but it's pretty tricky.
It's lower, but it's better than just the intended route.
Ninja power.
Yeah. The intended route brings too much shame of not doing either of the tricks. We do not want the intended route.
Yeah.
Now for the infamous Mystic Mansion. For anyone who has played this game, this is probably the part where you stop playing Team Chaotix. Because
this mission.
Thank you for that, Amber.
Okay, look at around, boys.
Because yeah, you have to blow out every single one of the torches. Some of them are hidden, and it really takes the flow out of things. It can, as a result, it's a very interesting mission to optimize.
We had
One of the
good
optimizations is actually luck-based. We had good luck. There it is. So there's only like 5 enemies that you destroy in time before you can get like the 3rd checkpoint to get SPO to level 3. And it's a 50-50 chance whether you get a level up for Charmy or for SPO. We got lucky, we got the SPO level up, which means that at the next checkpoint, Nacho will be level 3. And that will be just in time in order to blow out a very large corridor of torches that we'd otherwise have to do tornadoes on every single time. Because thus far, mostly been using tornadoes. Sometimes the rocket itself, the torches are close enough to the ground. But once you get to level 3 SPO, you get wind physics on it, and there you go. You can just homing attack them out.
Got the key right here because if something happened. For some reason I forgot the accumulator.
Yep. Just making sure. There we go. And then the upcoming corridor after this flower, that is where level 3 SPO is gonna come in hot and save all of the time. All of these torches you'd otherwise have to tornado. They are not close enough to the ground for a rocket excel, so your only options are level 3 homing attack, which you can only get if you're by this point if you're lucky. And otherwise you do tornadoes and you cry. And lose 15 seconds.
There's something wrong here.
But yeah, it takes a while on your first playthrough to find all of these torches, and I know I have heard many people voice their complaints about it throughout the years.
I think I know where is the last torches they are missing, so I will show them.
There are some pretty sneaky ones.
Okay, this is a really hard part because throw up the shield, a rocket axle, and just to be safe.
Yeah, that's one of the places where you could very easily get hit. And in a normal Team Chaotix one, you wouldn't care. But now we don't want to lose the key. Here we have the Team Blast mechanic. This can insta-kill everything that is within range. Why do we use that for a singular robot? Because that singular robot is very armored, has a helmet on, and the only way to damage it is to get him to fall over and get the helmet off. It is legitimately faster to just do a Team Blast, even if it's only one. Now, these 4 torches are some that you could potentially miss, because the camera in that section likes to not focus on those torches at all.
Okay, I will make sure to grab that checkpoint backup if I lose the key.
Yeah, this is a very scary section. Very easy to fall off of the spider web. And again, that side of the spider web you don't necessarily have to go to, so those are also 2 torches that will be very easy to miss. If you don't know they're there. Because switch is on this side. And if you happen to choose the correct side instantly, you're like, oh, I hear a door opening. Let's go.
There's a switch up there, SBO.
And the nice thing about invisible SPO is that it can go through lasers, so there we go.
This is the hard part right now.
Yeah, these are also
goes and
very
they
easy
can't
to miss.
hit us up.
These guys are jerks. If he's gonna lose his key anywhere at this point, it's probably gonna be this. Oh. That was a close call. And then just for safety, we're doing tornadoes and waiting for the robot to pass a bit, otherwise we might lose the key. There we go.
Very nice.
Impossible feat. Ultimate ninja power.
Now, we've actually already had all of the hardest special stages at this point. Like 3, 4, and 5 are definitely the trickiest. Just because there are either a lot of sharp turns or a lot of obstacles. Doesn't mean these are free, but hopefully it should be relatively smooth sailing from this point.
Roger.
Just like that. Really easy.
There we go. He's also been making sure that he takes the inside of the tubes whenever he can. Just to, shorter turn, get you there faster.
Okay, this is my second chance to do this. So... didn't get it.
What he's been trying to do is to get a little bit of a cutscene glitch. If you've ever seen it in another Sonic Heroes run, you know exactly what we're talking about. It's very funny. Look it up if you haven't seen it before.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is the part where we just defeat a whole bunch of waves of robots again. So this takes quite a bit. And once again, we want certain level ups. For this particular boss fight, we want level 2 Charmy and we want level 3 Vector. SPO, fortunately, doesn't really matter. So we need less level ups than in Carnival this time, fortunately. Right, and there's our level 2 Charmy, which can at least make sure that we can destroy all the flying enemies very quickly. There we go. Oh, it even managed to kill 2 of the robots. Very good. Charmy put it in work. Very nice. And then making sure to kill these robots with SPO to hopefully get more Vector levels. We're at 2 at this point. It's not too bad. And there's level 3. Awesome. You definitely want level 3 before you get towards the end of this platform, because on the next platform, that's where level 3 Vector really shines. You're gonna get a lot of hammer robots and just a lot of robots in general on this wave. We tried to get some of them before they get the chance to land by destroying the airplanes that were carrying them, which blows them all up in one go. And then here, level 3 Vector really shines with these robots. The exploding gumballs just, they put in work. They put in work. Three of these robots. Now you might think, if there's this many enemies, would it not just be, you know, better to do the Team Blast? And it's like, no. Team Chaotix's Team Blast is extremely slow. It is the slowest out of all of the teams, unfortunately. So it's a very funny animation, but it's a very slow one. So we try to avoid using it. Really, the only time we use it is when we have a hammer robot with a helmet that we need to kill. And here we have a little bit of a Space Invaders wave. What the game intends you to do is to get into the cannon and shoot your teammates at it and yourself, and then have the air boosters shoot you back. But instead, you can get close enough with Charmy and then destroy it like that, which is good. Otherwise, that'd be an extremely slow wave to destroy. And now there's 2 more waves. Both of them have helmeted hammer robots, so Team Blast very much necessary.
Oh no, I wasted my only Team Blast. What am I gonna do?
What am I gonna do? If only you could instantly get another Team Blast. There it is. So the nice thing, as you have been seeing in the bottom of the screen about Team Chaotix's Team Blast, is that they have the side effect for every enemy they destroy, they get rings, which at every ring you get builds up to another Team Blast. So you can just chain Team Blast if you want. It would be really good if it wasn't so slow. And while the Team Blast cools down, you also still get rings for every enemy you destroy. So it makes Team Chaotix ring attacking really fun. And not at all luck-based, because it's not at all luck-based that for every enemy you either get 5, 10, or 20 rings. It's... I bring attack Team Chaotix. It's something.
Okay, now it comes the funny part of and the last round of this game, but it's also fun.
Yeah, this one once again is just getting to the end of the stage and not getting detected by robots. But again, robots can't see you if you're just flying through the air. The final menu boss. Menuing is very hard. I don't know how RPG speedrunners do it. Actually going to be resetting because this initial glide is very much worth going for, and it's right at the start anyway. So first, there, one glide. Ooh, very nice. Made it all the way to the checkpoint. Getting adjusted, guys. So yeah, first one glide on a downwards facing rail in order to get speed. Because even on the downwards one, you still get the effects, and then you can immediately catch yourself on the rail again. Because you get it into, well, a downwards direction instead of an upwards direction. And then following it up immediately with the upper part of the rail where it kind of curves up to get a really big glide with all of the speed you already have. Now, there's another really nice rail with all the gravity right here where we can get another glide and ooh boy.
Okay, I'm glad that I grabbed the checkpoint.
I'm very happy you grabbed that checkpoint as well. Hit a platform in the air, oh boy. It is very hard to control those ultra glides of where you're going at that speed. So even though the inputs are essentially just you do a glide, it is very tricky to do it properly. And in that case, it just happened to fall exactly where robots happen to be. And it's like, it turns out when you fall directly on them, the robots can actually see you. Funnily enough, in this stage, it is actually the sleeping robots that you need to watch out for more than the awake ones. Because the sleeping ones, yeah, they have a bigger radius of what triggers them to actually wake up. Whereas the ones that are walking around, they have a surprisingly small radius of stuff where they can actually detect things. They do not actually look with their eyes, they just kind of have a radius where they can detect things happening. Right, bounce on the cannon right there to immediately to completely skip that gate. There have been gates on every single one of these ships, but we haven't really been close enough to them for the most part, thanks to the Ultra Glides.
Impossible feat. Ultimate ninja power.
And now we have one more stage to go, one more special stage to go as well, to get the final emerald. And then it's time for the final boss, which apparently is a penguin. How did I not notice this? I love penguins. I love penguins. How did I not notice? They're like my favorite animal. It'll take me a while to forgive you for December.
I mean, I still haven't forgiven Argic for This Is Anime and Sonic Mania.
That's fair, me neither. But we like him anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the route for this key is kinda tricky because there is just one key right here. And it's
Yeah, we have to
really...
go quite a bit away.
And there is two keys to left. One key just in the upper row, so I'm going to do this and hope everything is...
So normally you'd actually be able to just kind of take an upper route of platforms to get here normally without having to do this infinite flight glitch. But unfortunately, since we have to go down there, since it's the only key that's actually on the routes, yeah, we have to do this. But it works, eventually. We have to get 5 of the 10 keys here, and it just happens that any other key is just way too far out of the way. So even with having to take that detour down to grab the special stage key, it's, yeah, it just takes too long.
This is the last team left, and we are going to see the last Ultra Glide of the run.
Over here, it is actually worth it that rather than progressing through the stage normally, to just kind of backtrack a little bit to this wonderful looking ramp right here for one final Ultra Glide straight to the final key. I love that strat. That is creative. That is creative use of a glitch right there.
Maybe this wasn't
D.
the day.
D is for, I don't know, something.
D is for these emeralds.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So.
All right. Final special stage. And we've completed all of the side quests.
All the side quests to get the shiny things.
Exactly.
We completed the shiny quest.
Excellent. And then all we have left is the final boss of the story.
Looks like
The penguin boss.
Ah,
Charmy Victor. Time to meet your maker.
Bring now.
What real evil is.
I see it now. It's always been inside of me. Endless possibilities. So what Nacho's gonna be doing here is gonna be getting level 2 Charmy. And with that, as we've established, Charmy does damage. Now, if you chase Emperor all the way down to the arena, then he actually uses his shield very actively, and it can be very hard to fight him. So instead, we're going to be fighting him here during his attacking phase, because he will not block. And instead, time is coming up, by the way. Time is coming up.
Okay, so time.
There we go. GG.
1 hour 33 is what I'm looking at.
Oh,
1 hour 33
So,
seconds.
Yeah,
We
1
need to
hour and 33 seconds.
Can we stop going so far underestimate every
wait,
time?
1 hour 33 seconds?
These runners are way too good. 1 hour
Dude.
33 seconds real time.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a really good run.
Yeah.
10 minutes underestimate, so definitely a really
I
good
heard
run.
1 hour 30 minutes and I said, oh man, but dude, that's
No,
pretty
not
insane.
32 minutes.
No,
33
33
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah.
Fake after all.
Okay,
I
so
realized that I was not clear there.
here comes the huge plot twist.
Dr. Eggman, I presume.
It was Eggman all the entire time. What the?
All along, didn't you? It's all part of
Who knew?
being a
It was
good
Eggman.
detective. Were we fooled?
All along.
No,
Hey, hold on, you guys. It's no trick.
I really want to sing this
Sorry, it
song,
was more
but
like I realized I was on a about a 10-second delay, so it was like 1 hour 42 seconds. So
okay, it's still pretty good.
splitting hairs, but you know.
It's
Still pretty good.
fine. It's still really good.
Oh yes. Like no matter what, at the end of the day, it is still really good.
Mm-hmm.
The schedule is getting absolutely destroyed.
All right. I'll fill time then. Amber, were you planning to do another one of these in the future at any point?
So initially when we did Sonic and the Shiny Things, people were asking me for another another event like this, but people were also asking me to open it up for how do you say it? Open it up for 3D games, because most of them, aside from like Heroes, didn't have non-mandatory Chaos Emeralds that weren't like part of the story.
Right.
So, would I like to do another event like this? Yes, I think I need to find a way to open up the scope more.
Sounds
Maybe
good.
pick a different theme, an idea I've sort of played with, inspired by Flying Fox and a couple of people that have been in the chat, like being like, imagine a Sonic event without Sonic. So imagine like no categories that feature Sonic. Like Sonic can
makes
be in the
sense.
game, but you're not gonna play as him.
Gotcha.
So
Okay,
like, is that gonna be what I go with? Probably not, but like, it's an idea.
It's an idea. Well, if there's another shiny things like category, I just have not had the time to properly derust and submit Sonic Colors all emeralds at any point, so maybe in the
Oh,
future.
Sonic Colors all emeralds. Like
Yeah.
that's one we got the DS version
Yeah.
last year.
yeah. Okay, I just
Like I almost messaged you and said, "Hey, what's your status on Sonic Colors?"
I haven't read it in
Wii?"
years.
I believe that.
just have a quick question right now. Since we have some time, can I do the last boss?
The last boss?
Yeah, the
An actual
Metal
final
Madness?
boss.
The actual
Metal
final
We
boss.
Madness.
could if you have a file for it.
Yeah, I have a file for it.
I can let me just double check, because I think we are fine on time, but I'm just gonna double check real quick.
Okay.
All right. Because yeah, that would be a very good way to close this off, because essentially the thing that we are collecting the emeralds for is to unlock last story after we've also cleared the other stories. So, and last story is just the final boss, essentially.
Yeah, we can definitely do that if you want to just give me a quick estimate for that.
Like 5 minutes?
At most.
5 minutes?
Yeah,
5
5
minutes at
minutes. Or
Gonna do. Sorry. Oh, did someone already update things to final boss percent? Yeah.
yeah,
Man,
all
those
emerald
are the ball.
plus final boss. All emerald plus last
Set the estimate to fast percent. Okay, yeah. That's fine.
Bless you,
Yeah, by
Ruffin.
all means, like, go ahead. That was Richard who set it to fast
Oh,
percent.
really? It was
We've got
Richard,
in the
okay.
house now.
Oh man. Well, bless
but yeah,
Richard.
you can definitely showcase last story, I think.
Okay, so after the credits right
But
now.
yeah, like after the credits. So while credits are finishing up, do y'all have any shout-outs?
Yeah. Shout out to on the first shout out to CritcalCyd for actually being my commentator and inspired me to do my own runs. This is my first speed game that I wanted to run it since I saw a video of Sid like a lot of years ago. Shout out to Razorman because I went to the game and I learned a lot of new tricks, a lot of new ultra glides. And they teach me how to do it. Some of them, for example, I really didn't know about the split ultra glide. So okay, this is a really good time. sorry for
56,
that.
17.
Okay, so and shout out to the Sonic speedrun community and the Sonic Heroes speedrun community as well.
Absolutely. I will add a very cheeky join the Sonic Heroes Discord. It is linked on the speedrun.com page of both the console and the PC version, so you should be pretty easy to find. Run our speed game. That is my shout out. Run our speed game.
So my question is, does Metal Madness in challenge mode also include Metal Overlord?
Yeah, it includes Metal Overlord. So,
yeah, via Last Story, I think it does.
It always does.
So
doesn't matter.
And
how
in
you do it.
challenge mode, it does as well.
the actual final
Okay,
boss
cool.
is starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Let's go. Final boss. Final boss percent. Alrighty. So, Metal Madness right here, the first phase of the final boss. We're gonna be hitting the weak points that are glowing, in this case blue. And depending on which color it glows, that specific formation cannot actually damage the boss. In this case, it's Amy. We don't really want to damage the boss with Amy anyway, because look where the boss is. It's right over a cliff. So instead, we're just gonna start out with a Team Blast for some damage, and then we're gonna use Big in order to just go ham. And that will make pretty quick work of the first phase. Another Team Blast right there.
This is the PC version. We normally, if we are playing the GameCube or Xbox version, console version, we are doing a glitch called the Team Blast glitch. But since this is the PC version, it's really hard to do. So we're into normal.
Exactly. Yeah, normally for the Team Blast glitch, in order to really fast build up a Team Blast, you would have to press the B button, like the action button, as well as one of the character formation change buttons at the same time. The PC version does not allow you to press 2 buttons on the same frame. So while there are other ways to set it up, they are not remotely consistent. So that way, because of this, the final boss does actually look quite a bit different on PC than it does on console. This phase is pretty quick. It does switch back and forth between power and flight. But since power and flight can both damage it pretty quickly, since Nacho went out of the way to get some flight power-ups, that was, you could just alternate and then be done pretty fast. Once again here, we're getting some Rouge level ups to make sure she does damage, and we're mostly going to be alternating between Omega and Rouge in order to do damage in this phase. Now the nice thing about the Team Blast with Team Dark is that it has a time stop attached to it. So during that entire period, Metal Overlord will not do anything. Make it a big target, and then before time resumes again, bam! There we go.
Now time for some cat jams and sour please in the chat, because it's
absolutely.
amazing.
I want to see people dancing to this, man. This theme is good. This is some real Crush 40 stuff.
The only problem is the Team Blast. But try to keep the song in your mind.
So the only way to actually damage this boss is with a Team Blast. So we're gonna have to build that up. These crystals give a lot of Team Blast meter, so that will be our main source of Team Blast. But in other attacks that he does, we do still have ways to build up Team Blast. In console, it would just be Team Blast glitch, Team Blast, Team Blast glitch, Team Blast. You will not get to hear the song at all. So be happy that even though the Team Blast does take the music away for a little bit, you still get to hear way more of it.
Yeah, also this boss is really RNG based. I always prefer to going to the left instead of the right. After to thank you. Apparently, I don't know how to play video games, so.
Don't worry, we all just pretending to know how to play video games. It's fine. You're blending right in. Alright. And I forget exactly how many Team Blasts we need to do for this boss fight.
5.
5, gotcha. I usually just go off of one of Knuckles' lines. Like, as soon as he says, "Man, he's tough," that's when the next Team Blast is the last. Yeah. There's also these rings here towards the side. It's pretty important that you get them because, as with every Sonic game, we have once you run out of rings, it's over. With Supersonic. And in this case, that does actually mean completely gone. You cannot actually do this fight as normal Sonic at all. We need Super. But fortunately, there are these very conveniently placed balloons with 10 rings in them.
In Sonic by himself, like without Super, can't fly around like Big and Vector?
Exactly. This is why Big and Vector are way more powerful than Sonic. Especially Big. Like, don't get me wrong, Vector can fly as well, but the amount of damage frames on him is so low in comparison to Big. Big just goes in, he destroys everything he touches. Big the Cat is the most powerful being in the Sonic universe. Don't at me.
Just one more team left to go. Hope to don't die you.
Nah, you should be fine. This attack where he launches those needles at you, that's the scariest, because he can actually capture some of your teammates, and if you just kind of get combos, then it's over. But they are also a nice way to build up meter for you.
And time is coming up after this animation. So... time. So yeah, this is...
Wonderful.
On Heroes. Yes.
Yeah, so that's what that last boss is pretty much what you get if you collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds and beat all 4 team stories. But because all stories is extremely long by comparison to doing a single team all emeralds plus the last story, that's why we didn't actually have all stories. No one submitted it, but
it's also like 4.5
well.
hours.
Yeah, it's like 4.5 hours. Great for something like really, really long-a-thon, but not so great when I have 10 hours a day to fill and like I want to fill as many people in as I can.
Exactly.
But seriously, GG Nacho, thank you for showing that, and it also helped us a little bit with our estimate as well for the schedule.
Don't worry. But
Don't worry. If I know the Sonic community, the next few runs will go on their estimate as well, and your schedule will be done anyway.
The next runners
Well, we've got 4
are really
runs
good.
left for today. It's gonna be hard to like put us so far ahead of estimate that we don't have a run to show.
I believe in you, Sonic friends.
That sounds like you're challenging them to just completely destroy the schedule.
I am absolutely challenging them.
But oh my goodness. Don't listen to CritcalCyd. Follow CritcalCyd, but don't listen to CritcalCyd.
Follow Nacho first. Like,
Yeah,
very good, like good PC runner. Absolutely. And the PC version does not get enough love for this game, honestly, because it is, while it is a bit weird and silly at times, it is a very cool speedrun, very unique, and I'm very happy that Nacho got to show it off here.
Yeah.
It doesn't get enough
Absolutely.
marathon love.
So I do have a couple of announcements before we move on to our next round, which is actually a race. Just a reminder to people that information on all of our hotfix shows. If you like this is a special event, but we do have regular hotfix content. I actually host 2 bi-weekly shows that are recurring, Never Before Seen and Speed Seasons 3. But there are plenty of other shows throughout the week, some of which alternate, some of which are every week, so on and so forth. Take a look at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix, and from there you can find out more information about all of our hotfix shows, as well as how to submit your runs to any of our shows. And also, as a reminder, if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, when it's actually on YouTube, and you'd like to consider supporting our live content, come check us out over at Twitch at twitch.tv/GDQ. We would be very happy to have you here supporting us in real time. That said, we'll be right back. We have a race, a Sonic versus Knuckles good ending race with Hypnotics and S2. So that's going to be really awesome. It's a very special game, and it tries its best, and the special stages, I tried to learn this last year for the last event, and I said no after, like, you know, a couple of days of trying to do the special stages. So shoutouts to both of these people who are going to be suffering through them. Anyways, we'll be right back after a quick break.